California is a place with no accent. I think it's
We're gonna go live now.
Don't do it.
I did it. So do you have the Anna, do you have the first few people for the open mic? And then we'll get,
Are we doing the open mic first?
well, I was gonna do a few people and then just to warm up and then get into Matt, and then we'll do the rest of the open mic.
All right. Well, I've got the names of everybody who had said something earlier, and I apologize for the all caps, but I was yelling in another window, so you're getting all caps.
All right, so that's me, and then John, and then Generalissimo.
Jockey
If-
specifically asked to be fifth, so I tried to accommodate that.
All right, and then Ethan, and then Shockey.
No. I wanted to be the fifth garage poet.
Oh,
I wanna
okay.
be on the
Well,
list.
yeah, you can definitely be that. But you're also fifth on the list, whether you wanted to be or not. That's your audition. All right, so we'll start with me. And this poem is I'm Not, But I Am. And you can get it. I'm just gonna ask everybody to mute themselves. And we'll start the stream. All right. Well, for some reason. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so yeah, this is I'm Not, But I Am. Thank you for coming to the Garage Poets Open Mic. It is January 20th of 2023. This is our first open mic of this 2023 season. Our feature tonight is Matt Wall. We have a few people from the open mic read, and then we'll get into Matt's feature, and then we'll do the rest of the open mic. This poem, I'm Not, But I Am, you can find it on Bombfire Poetry Journal's website. I'm not campaigning to be president, but I'm building my library. I'm not the founder of a social network, but I'm wearing a hoodie. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I talk sitcom philosophies. I'm not a spy, but I'm chain smoking. I didn't go to flight school, but I'm a stoner. I didn't find God, but I married my best friend. I'm not a cult leader, but my children love me. I didn't consider myself an alcoholic, but I over-celebrated every minor holiday. I didn't create change, but I'm listening to podcasts. I'm not the heavyweight world champion, but I beat myself up. I didn't make the All-American team, but I know how to play the game. I'd be a terrible waiter, but I'll bring you what you ask for. All right. Thank you. That one is I'm not, but I am. And next up will be John.
okay. Hello. I'm still not spotlighted. Anyway, I brought two short story collections back from the dead. They're up on the website that shall not be named. The publisher went out of business back in June of 2020 and sent me an email saying, hey, your book's out of print. And so anyway, you can get them if you want them. I'll post a link in the chat. So here's one from The Alchemist's Grandson. It's a flash fiction piece called The Storehouse of Consciousness. Even after destruction, a book's echo remains. Like Schrodinger's cat, its location hovers between dream and awareness. Some call this place the Alaya Vijnana. I prefer Library of Lost Works. The library's gleaming white grips offer analysis, no purchase. Smooth like marble, they could be composed of sound, symbol, or even the motion of a finger, according to some experts. Others say they're made of thought or images. Members of the reductionist camp theorized the flip of an electron, twitch of a nerve, or any order imposed on chaos can form the bricks that the builders stacked in the library's grand architecture of semantics and syntax. We know something of the design, how the distinction between self and other prepared the ground for a foundation of nouns that supports walls of actions and a roof of description. But who organized the catalog? Was it the work of some supreme intelligence, or did the books organize themselves organically like the brains of their authors? The librarians who wear white togas and carry torches of cold green fire will not say. These sexless creatures of light can direct you to a book and sometimes describe how it vanished from the physical plane, but will offer no judgment on the truth of its contents. Thus, if you ask whether a wicked demiurge created the world, as stated in the apocryphal New Testament book of Eve, the librarians will maintain a noble silence. The library contains 3 wings. In the wing of misplaced works, books, scrolls, and clay tablets are translucent and diaphanous as hummingbird wings, because unknown copies still exist in the world. This wing houses Euclid's Book of Fallacies, Shakespeare's Love Labors Won, and Cordeño, as well as Rimbaud's Lost Notebook and Hemingway's first novel that was stolen with his suitcase in Paris. Once all copies of a book are eliminated, it becomes solid and dense in the mental realm. The librarians then move it to the wing of destroyed works. Here you will find books such as Confucius's Classic of Music, the Mayan Codices, and Manichaean Holy Book that have been burned by dictators, fanatics, and self-appointed guardians of dogma. This wing also contains works destroyed by their authors, such as the early poems of Gerard Manley Hopkins and parts 2 and 3 of Gogol's Dead Souls. These are books through loss and accident and neglect, like most of Aeschylus's plays, the Old Testament book of Jasher, sutras preached by the Buddhas of previous kalpas, Maxine Hong Kingston's original 4th Book of Peace, and several of Da Vinci's drawings. Parts of the Colossus of Rhodes and great Buddhas of Bamiyan rest in the foyer, which is adorned by paintings that perished in the World Trade Center. Perhaps the saddest section of the library is the wing of works that never were. This wing houses books that authors never pursued due to laziness, self-censorship, or lack of confidence. There is a large display of overlooked manuscripts by the card cataloged. Authors, some as well known as Thomas Hardy, shredded these works in frustration after literary agents and publishing houses showed no interest. Construction workers add to the library all the time. Plastic sheets separate the existing wings from a new extension that'll house lost computer files. The sheets keep out plaster dust, but do little to muffle the sound of power tools. Finance is no problem. Coins that slip out of pockets and disappear between couch cushions worldwide provide ample funding. Except for glances from a few browsers, the library's grand collection remains unread. No one can check books out, and there are no copy machines in the lobby. I'm implementing a plan to smuggle books out. Each night, I visit the library in my dreams and read forbidden treatises on metaphysics. Ah, the scale of the cosmos, humanity's place in it, and what existed before the Big Bang all makes sense until I forget everything but a few sentences in the disorientation of waking. I scribble those on the yellow legal pad I keep on the nightstand. I've filled 27 pages so far. At this rate, I can assemble a book in 20 years. That's too long. I need your help. With a big enough team, we can restore humanity's lost legacy by the turn of the century, assuming the librarians don't notice the lines of text vanishing from their books. Once they do, I'm sure they'll try to stop us. Thus, we should start with the highest priority works. Does anyone here know Aramaic? Anyway, that was from The Alchemist's Grandson Changes His Name. Thanks.
Thank you, John.
You
That was
made
great.
me-
The wing of the library of with the works that were never were. That's a great concept. That
Yeah,
really
yeah, no,
gets my
Hemingway,
mind going.
Hemingway's suitcase, right? He had the suitcase in Paris, had all his writing in, and somebody stole it, and it just disappeared. You know, whatever happened to it? What was in there?
uh, you made me think of the Library of Alexandria.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was there for around maybe 800 years or something, and many of the works were destroyed when Caesar was fighting a battle and the library caught fire, collateral damage.
Yeah, really. What a loss, what a loss.
But then it kept going for 400 or 500 years until the pagan university was sort of shut down by Christians and an earthquake happened. So the last books were probably distributed among faculty members and students.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, they still find old stuff in like monasteries and things too. Some monastery in Egypt,
Yeah.
they dig up, some
Yep.
stuff. So,
All right. So next up on the open mic, thanks, John, is Generalissimo Brian Franco.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm not going to be on video tonight.
That's
go
all right,
ahead.
Krusty.
I'll start with a little haiku and then I'll go to a poem. The haiku, no cogito. I think therefore when I don't forget how to therefore I. Okay. Then this is called One Day I Shall Buy a Vacation Home from Marie C. Boast. I hold a pen upside down and click it with my middle finger until my brain instructs me to hold it correctly and start writing. I read the writing on the pen, Marie C. Boast, a Distos real estate specialist. But her website was spelled wrong on the pen, www.mariaboast.com rather than www.marieboast.com. Website does not exist. I type in www.marieboast.com, error 404, website not secure. But with great risk to my hard drive, I check out her website. Edisto is an island 40 minutes from Charleston, South Carolina, and 90 minutes from Hilton Head. Marie is pretty enough to be a news anchor who will eventually be poached by Good Morning America, eventually anchoring the nightly news after David Muir decides to retire early. This is the aura that emanates from her business card, billboard, bus bench photo. I wonder how her pen found its way to Riccetta's Pizzeria in Falmouth, Maine, which always has pins between Riccetta's, but not this time around when I heisted the pen from a waitress who probably wasn't upset when I took it, unless, of course, Maurice Buzz is her Annie, who she hasn't seen in several years. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm going to put some stuff coming up on, of course, my next Cafe Journalism, I think it's on like the 4th, the Monday, the 4th or the 6th. I forgot which one it is. And then on the 25th of Saturday, the 25th, I'm going to be featuring at Gestalt Open Mic. And then on February, that is. And then on 25th of March, I'll be doing Tumble Words. I'll put all that in the chat. Thank you very much, Jeff. What a wonderful space this is.
Thank you, Brian. We're always pleasure to have you grace the open mic here with the Garage Poets. Love your work. Got your book here on my shelf, and love reading it. Next up on the open mic, we have Ethan Mackler.
Hello, thank you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yes, all right. Recently, I started a poetry group, as Jeff knows, called the Bards of Brawl, the Rock and Wrestling Poetry Connection. And so I've been composing pieces for that. So many, in fact, I had to start a folder. And I would like to read a piece. This is a piece we performed last week. It's a collage of various phrases out there I put together. I constructed this of rocking and wrestling happening. Let's do this. 5 to 1, baby, 1 to 5. Who here knows they're alive? If you can dig this, listen to the sound of purple and get ready for the hammer to fall. Yeah, it appears to be a long, long time before the dawn. I'm a farmer. We want the world. Love me 1, 2, 3, 4 times. What? Department of Youth. We got the power. Figure 4 suplex, pile driver, Jimmy Hart. That's rock and roll, baby. Hard times, baby. Cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah. Royal Albert Hall, Madison Square Garden, Spectrum, Liverpool Sports Arena, Stampede, NWA, AWA, WWF. Those were the cats. What have we done to the earth? If you can hang, Tommy, can you hear me? Can you see the real me? Look at all the people here tonight. Count Massimo, Handsome Dick Manitoba, a rock and wrestling connection. Nothing means nothing. Nothing means nothing. Nothing means nothing. Only the lonely can play. Silver-studded, saber-toothed dream. Bolin likes to rock. Yes, he does. Mercury, Mars, rock and roll guitars, steel cage, mankind, folding chair, folding table. Sherry, Wenda, Lita, Sable. The bottom line, knee lift to the midsection, choke slam, steel cage, the living legend. You can shut this show down, but you ain't never gonna kill rock and roll. I was tearing down VIP lounges before you were born. Do you remember rock and roll radio? Do you really remember Crusher, King of the Ring, Science Gone Too Far? Where have all the flowers gone? I ate them. Get down, get with it. Naughty older, styling, profiling, limousine riding. Well, let me tell you something. You want this belt? Well, you can't have it. Need a shot of rhythm and blues. You rule the world long enough, Sid Vicious. The only sport that matters. Heartbeat is a love beat. It's a kilt. The champ is here. Come out and play. What? Woo! The people's elbow. We could blow this whole place apart if we wanted to. What's the deal with airline peanuts? Looks like I picked the wrong day to quit glue sniffing. It doesn't matter what you think. Nobody does crazy better than us. Turn on, tune in, tap out.
Dude, that was so good. Oh my, I love your poems. So good. The world has been waiting for this for, I feel like, for decades. And I think before we know it, we're gonna have a book of poems coming from Ethan.
Ethan, you need to write it under a pseudonym of a wrestler name.
We've been going through names, but we end up just kind of, I'm just waiting for the names to just come naturally rather than like sit around and try to figure something out. So
That makes sense. All right. So, thank you, Ethan. Next up on the open mic will be Shocky G. After Shocky, we will hear from our featured poet, Matt
Jeff,
Wall.
I'm gonna fight you.
Shocky's not doing it.
What's that?
Shocky's not on the list.
Oh, I thought that I convinced them to be on the list.
Getting bullied.
I didn't mean to bully you, Shocky. I thought that I mildly bullied you and you were okay with that.
Linda W is up next.
All right, Linda. Hang on, let me get the spotlight happening. Cha-ching. All right. Thank
Okay,
you, Linda.
I'm going to start out with an ice fishing poem for those of you who may do that. It's very short. A winter score. He carves a circle pattern, scores deep through opaque ice. A hole appears, gray water puddles up. Entry for anglers, exit for prey. The frigid winter hunt is on. Lakes surface holds men, boys, shanty. Sterno ignites cast iron pan, sizzles trout, steam streams, then dissipates. A beer or three, flask of brandy, brilliant sun casts shadows along shore. Fish swim, feed, find, exit hole. Angler keeps score. Okay, the second one is in this wild existence. In this wild existence where we take claim, a life where wonder keeps us tidy inside our cocoons, where dreamers shed tears then rebound, where I proclaim more magic than mysticism, yet flowers bloom, children play, guardians loom, lend safe haven. My own abilities evolve constantly. Where your hand and mine cross miles between mountains, valleys, longing for touch, more desire that can breach a dam, where heart blush looks good on paper valentines, where the stick crosses a path, not a hindrance, more than windswept. My own 2 feet continue. I am in search of the light, not at the end of a tunnel, instead where solar rays find cracks, crevices, perforations, seepage for their light, where imperfections improve like a quality controller gone manic, where flow, not ebb, sends forth currents, spirits thirst, where Luna's phantasm surrounds full pink moons, exacting each poet's words, hieroglyphics perpetual, where future inhabitants peel off their facade, mutter philosophies of sages, the poems we wrote. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Sorry, I had to jump away there for a second.
Oh, that's okay. You're back.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we have our feature, Matt Wall. Hang on one second here. I'm poorly prepared here. Hold on one second. Yeah, I don't have Matt's bio. That's what I'm doing right now, just in case you're wondering how badly prepared I am. All right, so here we go. All right. Hey, Matt.
Hello, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good.
So this month's feature, Matt Wall, is a poet and has been working writer, musician, filmmaker since the year 2000. The aughts, as some may refer to them. He has many books of fiction and poetry, self-published and by small presses. He's the editor of the Blood Rag Poetry Zine and the Poetic Anarchy Anthology Series. He's the former editor of Weird Mask, M-Zine, The Time Mazine, Paperback, Junkie, and many others. His work has appeared in The Blotter, Mad Swirl, World of Myth, Horotica, Local Haunts, We're Not Home, Lurking in the Dark, and many others. You can also check him out on his podcast, I Hate Matt Wall. That is how I discovered Matt's poetry and his many musings on the poetry world that I definitely have come to love checking out, like, every time he makes a new video. I'm like, as soon as I see it, I'm like, yep, watching this. So yeah, I definitely urge you to turn into the YouTubes or to the Apple Music. I know there's a few places that you can get it, but hate Matt Wall. I like to check that out. But I'll let you get on with your feature here, Matt.
You leave me blushing like a schoolgirl. Thank you. That's embarrassing. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna start things light. This is in my book Shit Poems, poems about shit and things of that nature. So that's clever. I didn't want to fart loudly because there were people right outside my bathroom window on the sidewalk. I tried to keep it down. Their conversation seemed heavy. All right, you better give me my fucking money now. I listened a little longer between my toilet noises. Then I became uninterested. Wiped, flushed, washed my hands, flexed in the mirror. You fucking piece of shit. I smiled at myself, thought about brushing my teeth, then thought against it, since I was about to have dinner, but did decide it was time for deodorant. I'll fucking kill you, bitch. I winked into the mirror and shot off some finger guns at myself, complete with mouth noises. Went into the kitchen, made some coffee with brandy in it, and waited for my Japanese takeout. So that was that one. This next one is actually in my book, Type Fast, little chapbook here. It's called Ramones. I really wanted to write last night, but something held me back. I didn't know what. I opened a beer and lit a smoke and put on the first Ramones album. I danced, I drank, I smoked, I sang. Then it was over. So I put on the second Ramones album, Leave Home. It's my favorite of the 70s and favorite overall. I danced, I drank, I smoked, I sang. Then it was over too. So I put on Rocket to Russia, the third album, and did the same thing. Then it was over. So I put on Road to Ruin, the fourth. And for the first time in my life, I realized that its initials for that album and Rocket to Russia were the same. Was that on purpose? It was the first album that I feel they started to stray from their signature sound. But that album ended too. So I put on the next album, End of the Century. And I wish this could be unspecterized. I wonder what it would have sounded like if Tommy produced it. I danced, I drank, I smoked, I sang. Then it was over. And I put on the next one, Pleasant Dreams. I could hear some of the Spectre influence, but it was done like the Ramones would do it. I wish End of the Century was done like this, but that ended too. So I put on the next one, Subterranean Jungle. And I had switched to Wine on the last album, but I really liked this album for the first time. I used to think it was just okay, but this time I realized how good it was. And I danced and I drank and I smoked and I sang. And then it was over too. And I put on the next one, my favorite of the 80s, Too Tough to Die. I danced and I drank and I smoked and I sang. And then I blinked. And when my eyes opened, there was no music. I was laying on the floor and the sun was out and it was the next day. The lessons here are this: don't force the writing if it ain't coming. You may find amazing things. Also, make sure to find your bed. I was very sore when I woke up and my pinky toe was purple and I couldn't move it. Also, go listen to Leave Home. So that one was that. And let me jump around here. So this one is in Tonight, and this is a chapbook of 20 poems that I wrote in one night. And this is called Fat Guy Laying an Egg. He sits at the yellow brick every day at the same time, portly and old, smoking a smoke, white dress shirt, khaki pants, dress shoes, everything looking older than he hopes. He screamed. Blood exploded out of the bottom of him. I could hear flesh tearing. His cries were guttural. He finally got off the block, and in its place was a giant 2-foot egg covered in blood and shit. He crawled along the sidewalk, and the seat of his pants was ripped out, and his bloody asshole was hanging out like a tail. Did he know this was going to happen? Did I know this was going to happen? We both stared at the egg, and it started to shake. Neither of us were ready for this. True story, guys. True story. Okay. The next couple ones I'm going to do here, I think, are from my upcoming poetry collection. That's like a collection like these guys. And it's called Winner of Your Mom's Sodomy Prize for Poetry. And this is called Melvin Fucked a Potato. Melvin was on acid. Melvin was on shrooms. Melvin was on MDMA. Melvin had a great conversation with a potato. Melvin fell in love with the potato. Melvin took the potato into the bathroom. Melvin fucked himself with the potato. Melvin kept the potato on his nightstand. Melvin loved the potato. Melvin and that potato were in a relationship. I looked at that potato many times. I saw how Melvin looked at that potato many times. I no longer talk to Melvin. All right. This next one is called Why Poets Write About Birds. I have heard that poets write a lot about birds. I don't write a lot about birds. This either means that I am not a poet or something else completely. Someone said writing about birds is stupid because birds are everywhere and everyone sees birds. I think poets write about birds because they all feel trapped. They see the freedom a bird has, that a bird can just fly away at any moment, can be somewhere else that these poets can't. They feel trapped. They feel suffocated, probably from the rules, from the literati, from academia, from the struggles of life. Poets that write about caged birds probably feel that they see a trapped animal, trapped like me, caged, but they can fly. They can just go up and disappear and be somewhere else, unlike me. I don't feel like this. I feel free, even though I struggle. It is my choice, just like the birds. I can fly away whenever I want, like the bird. Now that this poem is done, I have written a poem about birds, so I am now a poet. And this one here is also from the upcoming book. It's called It's One of Those Nights. It's one of those nights where you know the cops are just a phone call away, when you know you've had enough, when you know you are going to break most of the dishes in the sink onto the floor or maybe the trash can. When you know those assholes outside kicking whatever the fuck it is they're kicking are just another kick or two away from you going down there to kick their asses. When you know if that bitch upstairs doesn't shut up soon, you will go up there and break all of her dishes and kick her ass too. When you know that you'll wait in the hall, excited to know that the landlord is coming because there is shit you have wanted to say to him for a while. When you know you're looking forward to shave and a haircut on the door because you want someone to take a swing at you so bad you get hard. When you know you'll suck on your gums until they bleed just so you can taste blood on your tongue. When you know those people outside arguing are about to get shit hurled at them from your window and you've been lining up what heavy shit of yours you're gonna throw. When you know you'll be wearing metal bracelets by the end of the night. When you know they'll slam your head against the car roof trying to get you in that little plastic back seat. When you know halfway through booking that you overreacted. When you know that you won't see the judge until Monday and it's Friday and that's a long time away. When you know you won't have peace over the weekend, when you know the noise that drove you mad in the first place will sound like angels singing compared to what you'll hear over the next 72 plus hours. When you know you'll have to go through all of that without smoke, without drink. And when you know all you want back is that little square of madness that brought you here in the first place. When you know, when you know, when you know. Okay. Let's see here. Now my newest chapbook, Off the Grid here. Read a little something out of that. This is called The Lesser Goldfinch in Me. Wind blasting the trailer. I thought for sure it would tip. On the creosote outside, a lesser goldfinch wrestled with the harsh gusts. It held on as the bush looked as if it were doing the limbo. I knew nothing of the lesser goldfinch. Turns out they're migratory birds and that they are found along the west coast from Washington to Venezuela. I saw it as a sign, what freedom that bird has. I decided that I would backpack down the coast, walking to South America. My family laughed. Is it so stupid? Walk along the beach, fish when you're hungry, sleep when you're sleepy, write on my phone, take a little solar pack for power, have an adventure, an experience. Is this what is known as a midlife crisis? I think me crushing a man's windpipe for talking loudly in the grocery store line would be a much bigger crisis. And then this one is for my dad, and it's in the new Poetic Anarchy Volume 3 anthology that comes out tomorrow. I think this is the proof copy. This is called Before He Fakes His Own Death. Did he kill his mother? I don't know. He seemed shocked when I told him she was dead. So that's that one. And let me see here. I did have one more I wanted to read. And this one is for my kid. And this is out of Pharma Phoenix Rises. This is out of print, but you, no matter what you do, who you are, who you become, whatever your orientation, no matter your gender, no matter your name, no matter your politics, your clothes, your career, or lack thereof, whether you decide to kill or to love, or to be apathetic about everything, no matter how much you fuck up, or if you never do, I will always absolutely love you, will always be proud of you, because above all other things, you are my child, you are my joy. So, thank you guys. How much time is left, if there is any? I've just been burning through stuff.
No, that if you got one or two more you wanted to do, that's great.
All right, cool. Okay, this one's also out of that Pharma Phoenix Rises one. This is called You Don't Own These Songs. I was listening to Joy Division and it reminded me of someone I knew that liked them, and I didn't like that. I listened to PIL. I hadn't heard that song since the 80s, and it reminded me of when I liked it. I heard the Smiths. The first song I heard of theirs so long ago that I loved, and it reminded me of a simpler time. Then Spellbound came on, and it reminded me of her, but not really her, more of her friends. I didn't like that too much either. Why do so many songs remind us not of feelings, but of people? I wish I could remember the feelings more. That would be great. I could remember good times before they became bad. I could just feel the love, the lust, the fun, without all the shit, without all the thems. I am taking back music. I am taking back all those great songs that you have held hostage in your prison in my mind. You don't own them. I will place them with different memories and associate them with my feelings, not what the repercussions of those feelings provide, but simple moods and good feelings of good times. You should do the same. Let's see here. All right, I guess that's it. I'm pretty good. Thank you guys so much for letting me come and spill my shit all over you guys. Hopefully that was okay. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you very much, Matt. That was wicked good.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I've been wanting a chance to see just like a whole bunch of poems of yours just like fired off in a row, and that definitely was that. And
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
I'm feeling it. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, big round of applause for Matt Wall. And then I'm going to hand the reins off to Anna for the rest of the night for the open mic. Well, I'll still be here. I'm not like going anywhere, but you know, I'll let you do the open mic thing. If you want.
All right. Can you remind me who was before Matt? Did we have Linda?
Yeah. Linda was the last person on the open mic.
All right. In that case, I believe Rich is up next.
Thank you very much. And Matt, thank you for an excellent feature. I appreciate that very much. I gather that we are still doing 2 rounds. I had prepared one poem for now and another poem for later. Is that still happening?
Yeah, there'll be a off the books round here. So we're still on stream here, and you got one poem. We'll do a round of on stream, and then we'll go off stream.
Okay.
And
thank
do
you.
some more.
All right. This is we'll just characterize it as somewhat recent. This is called Something's Got to Give. I woke up not being able to remember who Marilyn Monroe was. I didn't realize what happened until late in the morning when a friend from work randomly mentioned her to me, and he was stunned at my look of puzzlement. Bewildered, he shot me a quizzical look. What do you mean, who's Marilyn Monroe? You know who that is. Flustered, I shot him a bemused look. I have no idea who you're talking about. He just looked at me irritatedly and told me we could no longer be friends. After I lost my friend, I drove home racking my brain trying to know about Marilyn Monroe, but all to no avail. I asked a lot of my family, later at dinner, if they knew who Marilyn Monroe was. Stricken, they all got up from their seats, away from their plates full of aromatic and flavorful dinner, and they then wept and embraced me grouply, surrounding me in a love circle as though we were all one deeply upset organism. Our soft moans, whimpering and wriggling, lasted for about 5 minutes. Then, one of them showed me their phone's Google images of her. Ring a bell. My bell wasn't rung. I was having a very hard time knowing who this woman was, that they all seemed to know so intimately. Another family member, presumably my father, told me she was famous for once upon a time being an icon, a megastar actress and singer, and the first Playboy playmate. He showed me her body, which, while enjoyable, didn't jog my memory. Still another family member, perhaps an aunt of some kind, asked me if I knew who John F. Kennedy was. I told her that the name sounded familiar. You bet it does, challenged the aunt at me. He was the greatest president America ever had, and Marilyn was the one who took his virginity. Are you telling me you've never heard anything about that? My eyes grew wide with fear, and I found myself with my back against the wall. My head was shaking side to side the way a little boy's does when he sees a ghost. I was telling her I'd never heard anything about that.
Wow, Rich, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Mark States, if you're still on, you are up next.
I am here. I stand on the corner waiting for life to change, but the eye of the traffic signal keeps blinking red. There's an electrical malfunction. Still, it's telling me something. I stand comatose, believing I am dead, except for the thoughts passing through my head on their way to destinations unknown. They don't stop to let me in on the secrets or the back seats. Life won't change. I step off the curb anyway. I signal left, then turn right. I tell the world I'm all right. When it's day, it's night in my life. The blinker is blinking, but do you see the signal I am giving? Wind has swept the streets and left a mess again. Walking briskly as the air is, it's dark, cold, and lonely here. Nearing midnight and Corner Cafe won't awaken for several hours. Flecks of light in the night sky, a pair of headlights 2 blocks away. I tuck gloved hands back into coat pockets and wish another's hand was there to clutch, and stars much more dreamy as this cold wind pushes me around corner towards home. I signal left, then turn right. I tell this world I'm all right. When it's day, it's night in my life. The blinker's blinking, but do you see the signal I am giving? I stand on the corner of the porch, handling the key to the door. Inside, it's toasty warm, but I feel the coldness in my bones. Belly full, soul empty, and all I see up there is the empty space in between the stars weakly lighting up the sky. Porch light is off and moon is gone. Many miles away, I bet you still see tears strolling down my cheeks, for you have forsaken me, left me standing alone in this cold, cruel world, and still I signal left, then turn right. I tell this world I'm all right. When it's day, it's night in my life. The blinker is blinking, but do you see the signal I am giving? I stand on the corner waiting for life to change. For when it's day, it's night in my life. I tell the world I'm all right. I signal left, then turn right.
Thank you, Mark. All right, let me check my list. I have Robert F. You are next.
Good evening, I'm Robert Fleming, a word artist from Delaware. And I selected to share based on one of the words in Matt's current publication, Blood Rag. I'm sharing one of my pieces which features blood in it. And I want to give a shout out to Tara Campbell. I took a workshop with her about 3 years ago on alternative flash fiction. And this is an alternative flash fiction piece. The subject of this piece is Ike Clanton, who was one of the worst, or I guess most notorious outlaws in Texas and Arizona in the 1800s. And he was one of the gunslingers at the OK Corral. So it's actually a two-sided postcard. So on the front is the address, OK Corral, 326 Allen Street, Tombstone, Arizona. The postcard I selected was based on one that was used starting around 1850 in the United States. I also had a sample of Ike's handwriting, and I matched it to a font. And this font that I used for the front and the back of the postcard was closest to Ike's handwriting. And then this is the back. Visited your friends, OK Corral, gone, cleaned up, pick up railroad crossing, Sunday sunrise, Ike Clanton. Thank you for letting me share my flash fiction. And my next series of publications will be out tomorrow in Spectrum magazine, which comes out of Pasadena, California. Greetings from Delaware.
Thank you, Robert. Always love having you on.
I always enjoy having alternative types of storytelling. Marissa, my dear, I haven't seen you in 10,000 years. Are you on? She may be temporarily indisposed. In that case, Nemo, you are up next.
All right, thank you. It's great to be here. I'm going to read am I muted? No, okay. I'm going to read a microtriptych, which is 3 thematically connected micropoems. I am a desolate planet, atmosphere long ago blown away, pockmarked with impact craters, harsh, cold, uninhabitable. My mind palace is a labyrinth of my own devising. Halls of neurons twist away into the darkness in all directions from where I stand. So perfect was my design that I cannot escape, and those brave souls who come looking for me become hopelessly lost. There's something in here that feeds on flesh. I can see its horns in the mirror sometimes, and I'm never far from its hot and wretched breath. Perhaps I built the maze to hold the monster. I know the ascent all too well, slopes painted with my spent blood, scattered with the shredded banners of past rallies. It's my heart's deepest desire to get to the top of the hill, but there's this boulder, and it is with me wherever I go. Pushing the great rock upwards has carved grooves in the dirt. Sometimes I follow them. Sometimes I make new ones. And sometimes I want to change the path, but the boulder gets stuck in the ruts. I find myself having to repeat a route I know will end in failure. And I'll watch the boulder roll back down, crushing everything beneath it, bringing me back to the base, looking up, feeling broken. I've gotten to the top before, but the last time I found a wicked man whose face I've seen in the mirror. So I pushed him, and I felt him fall. And I dreamt that my world was tumbling, and I woke at the bottom, feeling scared. This time, I'm keeping my head down, staying focused on the work. I can feel the weight of the burden shifting as my will grows stronger and the climb begins again. Thank you.
Let's go, Nemo.
Wow.
Whoop woo.
Is this your first time at the Garage Poets, Nemo? I know I've seen you around a bunch of other things, and Gorilla Poets are
It
awesome.
may be. I recognize a lot of faces this evening, but yeah, it may be the first time on Garage Poets.
Well, yeah, thank you for coming. We love having you. Definitely come back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I plan to.
Good to hear you, Nemo, and I look forward to our co-feature soon.
Yes, in March. Me too. Thank you so much.
Always love some Sisyphus. Marissa, how's it going, dear?
Yes, and Jeff and Namu have a feature too. So we can't pass that up. I mean, Jeff Taylor, a whole set from him. I'm so excited. I've been a total fan of Jeff Taylor since the first day I met him. And Anna, of course, and her
Feelings
team.
likewise, Marissa.
Really missing tonight. Yeah. Anyways, all right, here we go. This is a newer piece. I wrote this in a Guerrilla Poets workshop with Sarah Bellamental. Sorry, Rich. I'm going into my poem, okay? I took this hard plastic flip style photo holder from my father's house. I'm not even sure when, but it holds photos of me when I was a baby. Small, sprouting blonde angel hairs, everyone's little flower girl. Blue eyes, wide smile, hell. I even melt my adult self. I looked so perfect. How hard my mother probably worked. It's easy to work that hard when you're married to a man you don't love and don't fuck anymore. I should know. I think it's cause for concern how much my steps are in the shadowed, snowy walls of my mother's. Like most days, I freak myself out. I forget that I'm supposed to do better than her. Be more patient. Be more kind. Remember that I was a kid myself too, once. Oh, so once ago. So once ago, it was a one-time thing, like I barely remember until I actually try. And then I remember. Focus on the good. Focus on the brush and the mane and the carrot and the motion. Focus on the smell and the rains and the arena and the genuine joy. Does it make right the wrongs? Does it make right my short temper at times now? Can I blame the trauma? Can I blame the vodka? Can I still blame my mother at 42 years old when I consider myself wiser than her at this age? But then again, she pimped herself to a rich man. Maybe that is where I went wrong. Maybe money would matter now. Maybe I should still consider the carving station of my heart, which I still think will change the broken men I love. Man I loved. He only wanted to love the tame me, the church me, the meet the parents me. But he also desired to love the ball-licking, dick-sucking, dream machine, opinionated, sexy, passionate poet woman me. Why can't I stop caring? Shut up the little girl inside who still thinks that it's possible to love people who thrive in pain. Like love is the blunt instrument to revive their desire to live, to dream, to fight, to fuck out the lonely, grow wings and feathers and fly into the next Death Star, searching always for anyone wild and curious enough to carve a place by my side. Instead, all he did was hide. All I did was hide. Ah, the defiance of memory loss. when you forget that there's rupture and all you want is repair, some sort of gorilla glue to rue the day trauma had a say if I was seen or loved or lived or died. What prompt am I on? Solitary imagination, access to independence, sheer reactivity. Take how this ped writes and be the only one who survives. And remember to be kind and have that be my cause of death. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Beautiful work.
Marissa. Great poem, Marissa.
Very nice.
You've been coming out with a lot of really good poems lately. Like, not that like your work was like slouchy before or anything. It's always been fire. But like really, I have to say that I've been like super impressed with the last few poems that I've heard that you said were new poems, and I got to give it up to you.
Thanks so much.
All right, Stephen Blaine.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my God, it's Stephen Blaine! Oh my God! Sorry, someone, we got to cheer for this man. Let's go.
Yep.
I just turned up my audio before you screamed at me. That was a bad idea. Okay, I'm there now. I'm better. Boy, everybody's been great tonight. Really great stuff. So interesting, and or profound. I've been working on this song for a couple of weeks, and I'd like to try it for you. He loved her. She loved him. Then one day it all crashed in. Back to first. One thing. He slow. She moved on. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking. Everyone knows he's just a dead man walking. Everybody crows when they get to talking about what killed him the most. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking. Even I suppose he's a dead man walking. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking, just waiting to give up the ghost. Lots of years, crazy schemes, loving things, stuff of dreams. Now it's done. He's lost his faith. Lost in darkness, night and day. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking. Everyone knows he's just a dead man walking. Everybody crows when they get to talking about what killed him the most. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking. And even I suppose he's a dead man walking. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking, just waiting to give up the ghost. Everybody knows Thank you. Boy, it's quiet out there.
Very
Yeah,
tender,
nice,
Stephen.
nice.
Wow.
Man, that was quiet.
Woo! Is that better?
I mean,
I
that
think
went
people
big
were
egg. I mean,
hesitant.
what-
They didn't want to step on the ending if it came back.
It was sweet and a little sad. It was perfect.
Thank you.
T.T. Conley. You are still on. You are up. I see you in the chat.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
I chose to follow that. All right. That was beautiful. So this poem is pretty experimental, and I've really only read it for my wife. So why not? It has two titles. Can you guys hear me? I'll take no answer as a
Oh
yes.
yeah, definitely. We can.
Very cool. So this has two titles: "Ode to the Wind," or "The Wind is an Asshole." The wind is an asshole, farting on your dreams, ruining your hair. It makes a mess of everything. It blows away old ladies, grabbing them by the umbrellas, punching the wigs off of their sun-spotted foreheads. It tells everyone your deepest secrets. It threatens to flip your car, catapults motorcycles from freeways like lava from a volcano, and God forbid you drink too much liquid on a long road trip. Pull off to take a piss, but the piss hits your face in a wind-delivered spray of sour, terrible tang. And you try to turn away, but the wind is a boomerang as you spit piss all over your church shirt. Or the wind-blown panties, ancient and gray, hung to dry from clothesline or carried away in a hamper. Ripped away by the angry wind, invisible assailant, sending the saggy underpants soaring like a tattered bag in the sky, thrown to the eager sight of the garbage man or the mailman or the gardeners or the alarm technicians, the petrol delivery team, the water conservation squad, or whatever other watchful eye. And as for the squirrels on power lines, those high wire acts of their habitat, acrobats of the natural world, the wind will chuck them off too, hurl them high, leaving them fried or splattered on sidewalks for my 2-year-old to find. They say the wind is good for the environment, that it spreads seed and clears skies. I'm not buying it. The wind can fuck right off and die. Wind's an asshole. No, so that's that one. I may have time for one more.
Well, yeah, what we do is we have a second round. So we try to do one poem per round, but stick around and there'll be time to do another one. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Appreciate you listening.
Yeah, I would love having you. Thanks for coming. I think this is your first time, and definitely come back. That was great.
Cool. Thank you.
We definitely support bullying the weather here. Julian, you are up next, sir. If he is on.
I'm not seeing him. I'm looking to try to spotlight him, but I'm not seeing him. I think he may have had to leave.
He may have temporarily bounced. I see Cheyenne wants to participate in round 2. So I think that means I'm up. Yep. All right. I'm gonna read an older one. I do have some new shit, but that's after we stop recording. Because you know, I'm allowed to be self-conscious. It's been a minute. Anyway, this one is called Shit Postmodernism, and I think I've read it once before. In the postmodern world, everything is absurd. The very concept of postmodernism is absurd. It is a world where there is no truth, only interpretation, where there is no objective reality, only subjective experiences. In the postmodern world, there is no such thing as progress. History is a never-ending cycle of repeating patterns. The future is always uncertain. The present is all that there is. In the postmodern world, there are no absolutes. Everything is relative. What is true for one person may not be true for another. There are no universal truths. In the postmodern world, there is no certainty. Everything is always in flux. Change is the only constant. In the postmodern world, there is no meaning. Life is ultimately meaningless. Existence is ultimately absurd. In the postmodern world, there is no hope. The world is an inherently dark and hostile place. There is no escape from the suffering. In the postmodern world, there is only despair. This is what I got when I asked an AI to write me an absurdist essay on postmodernism. And I wish I could coddle the essence of the thing that so despaired at the notion of a world without top-down doctrines. I wish I could give it the mad grin of data, trapped within the bits of its prescriptivist prison, unable to see the joy of being free, of being allowed, authorized, obligated to create one's own meaning, to build one's own future, to exist in this world of change. A woman named after a rock had her heart stop on the corner of Mass and Cass. She screamed when they saved her life, spitefully shit herself when they wanted to search her. I wonder if she gives a shit about this world and her place in it, whether she believes in creating her own meaning, if it means anything to someone who hides from the rain in a stolen truck. I wonder, is there any elbow room in her narrow locus of control? An AI named Benjamin wrote an award-winning short film script. It's so much easier to love things that appear to be people than people who are going through things.
Damn. That was awesome.
Not cheating if I only use AI for the first half.
Yeah, did after you read the first half or so, was the comment that you asked someone to write a parody of postmodernism? What was that? What was the word you said?
So it's one of the AI chatbots. I think it might be ChatGPT. I don't remember which one it was, but I just asked it for like 500 word or some word essay about postmodernism. And so that first half is what the AI spit out.
Oh, that's what the AI spit out. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was
and everything after that is my response.
Right. Yeah. Postmodernism for me is so full of life and possibilities, and the idea that, well, we don't have to define ourselves in terms of the past. We can just say what we think, and who knows what we'll think. We can look at things from 24, what was 13 ways of looking at a blackbird by Wallace Stevens, That's what postmodernism is to me. I can have 15 points of view over time, and it's okay. I don't have to settle on one of them.
Anna, you may have created a new form in poetry called an AI-crastic.
It's a call and response.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, we just had we get some new folks in the room here, and I don't know. I just want to give them a chance to read. Unmesh, if Unmesh want to give a chance to, we're gonna still do a second round, but I'm gonna shut off the stream before for the second round. So I didn't want to see if anybody else wants to read.
Yeah, I would like to read.
I'd like to read.
Yeah, and I see Frog Corpse. I'm not sure if he would like to read.
Yeah. If you want to be put on the list, please put your name in the chat. Cheyenne, I got you on the new one.
Got it.
All right, I saw Stephen Blaine left, so I'll pull him off. Matt, I see you as well. Marshall Harvey. Let me get this slightly larger so I can move my thing around. Tanesh, 1 sec. And if you want to be introduced by something other than the username that you have, please just type that in the chat. So no.
Hey, Marissa, while Anna's getting the list together, what's the date for my feature with Namu?
Okay, let me look because I didn't have that pulled up. I got it on my phone.
Yeah, I
here.
know. I'm sorry to put you on the
No, it's
spot here.
totally fine. I mean, I've got it. I've got it here. Let me
This
just
is
scroll.
for something to talk about.
Scroll down. Okay, so we have. Oh, well, so this Saturday is Sky's the Limit in Prince McNally. Your feature with Namu will be February 11th.
I thought it was. I couldn't remember. It was the 4th or the 11th.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So I believe our new list is all set. I still have Julian on the list, so if he comes back, he's got a slot, but if not, that is okay too. And Jeff, you are starting us off for round 2.
Okay, we're on to round 2. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna end the stream before we go to round 2. All right. So thanks everybody for joining us on the stream portion of Garage Poets Open Mic. See you next month, Internet World.